Oh, so this is the scaffolder. I have a relationship with a guy at the moment. He's a scaffolder.
All right, yeah.
Love it. So he says, brilliant advice, guys. I really felt it. Yes, fuck Deirdre. 2 men all the way. We haven't brought up Deirdre in ages.
Long time, yeah.
It's because she doesn't exist anymore, Jamie. The sun just got rid of her.
We've written her off.
So he says, in my office at the moment, I'm having some disagreements with a colleague, and it doesn't seem to be ending. I'm thinking the only way it will end is if we get separated or one of us leaves. Everything he does annoys me, and he picks up on everything I do in the office. Whether it's anything to do with him or not, I'm not sure if he's not happy with working with a man like me, he put brackets gay, or whether he's just a prick. He never seems to have any issues with anyone else. Do help, lads. Have you had this before? How do I end this saga of petty bullshit? People are cunts. That's all I can say about that. Sometimes people just don't get on. There's no reason. There's a few people that I can't fucking stand, and I've never spoken to them.
Yeah.
It just rubs you up the wrong way.
I think there's a lot of people in this world. I'm quite laid back as regards to letting people, like, take the piss a bit. But then, if as soon as I've had enough of someone, that's it. I'm done with them, and that there will be no reconciliation. Like, there's a guy. I'm not going to mention who he is or what he'd done to annoy me, but he said something really bad towards me that I didn't like. And then after that, every time I see him now, he gets absolutely fuck all out of me. I won't even say anything to him, like speak to him. He just gets completely blanked. And sometimes we're in a meeting of like 4 or 5 people, and he will directly say something to me, and it's almost like he's not said anything. I'm just sitting there.
That's the worst thing, isn't it? The silent treatment's just a killer.
Yeah, absolutely drives him, yeah. Because in a professional place, you can't... My normal reaction in a public place would be sheer aggression.
True.
So I can't do that. So the best way is to completely give him nothing. And that's what he gets. It's been about 2 years, and you can see it drives him mad. Drives him fucking mad.
His anxiety's gone through the fucking roof. Yeah, I think it's easy to be like, oh, it's because... Well, no, you haven't said that, but the gay situation. I think, like I said, some people just don't get on. You know what I mean? And it could be anything.
They could be prejudiced.
He could be, yeah. Like, without meeting him or knowing, what he's saying or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I just don't like to go down that route, like, right off the bat. You said about HR. I suppose you could speak to HR, and like try and do it. It's not amicably. All they'll do is they'll be like, "What's the problem?" And then they'll either talk to you separately or they'll put you both in the same room and try and get you to discuss it out.
In this day and age, I think a lot of it, they would try to mediate to the point where if you put it forward thinking that he's prejudiced towards you because of how things are, they cannot ignore that. So they would have to directly ask him whether he has got an issue with your sexuality and stuff like that. And then that might even just be enough to know the reason behind it.
But then again, you got to be careful because you don't want to go down the route of accusing people, or you get like a reputation in the office.
Exactly. So it's a hard one. It is a hard one
without knocking the fuck out of him. You could go down like the sneaky, like, get in. Are you just drinking juice today? Yeah, you can get like a mate to speak to him and see if he'll open up to a mate, and then you can find out that way. Do you really want to know though? I wouldn't.
We'd rather not know.
I'd rather not know someone. Like, I can deal with, like, the pettiness and stuff like that because I can just be as petty as well. But if, I don't know, I think it's like I don't want to know why he doesn't like me.
I think, for me, I wouldn't be able to not know. I would, like, it would be so annoying to me that I couldn't do it. I would have to be, it would keep on, I would have to keep on and on and on until I find out. Even if I just got someone that is like a mutual person between the two of us to like have a conversation and then just relay it back to me, so then I am in the know of what's going on.
I get this at the minute. Like, I get a guy that I constantly tell him to fuck off. Who, but he enjoys that you don't enjoy it, if you know what I mean. Like, he
Right.
likes to rip on you, and when you say, I've had enough, fuck off, it gives him like a fucking boner. So then he's like, oh, you don't like that? You don't like that? So then he'll just keep repeating the bit that you told him you don't like until you just have a full out fucking blowout. I haven't spoken to him in like 2 months because I was like, I've had enough of you. Just fuck off. We haven't spoken. So some people are just fucking wankers.
I think it's like an adult form of bullying sometimes. I think that people try to pick on someone they think isn't going to say anything. And
Yeah.
like when that guy did it to me at work, we went side to side, and I said to him, "You ever say that again, we'll be seeing each other outside of work." And then that's obviously something you don't say, because obviously HR will come after you with a fucking million things. But all I said was that, and then for 2 years I haven't spoke to him. And because I'm completely blanking him, you can see it kills him, but it's his own fault for being a dick. Do you know what I mean?
I think you've got two options. I think if you want to go to HR, I wouldn't say about being prejudiced, just say his attitude has affected my work.
Yeah.
But then you've got to notice that they might say to you, well, is it easier for you to move or anything like that? Because that's you got to think of their way of like fixing things.
They will try to move the problem first.
Yeah, they will, yeah. Or you can, get someone to speak to him, or you can speak to him and say, like, what the fuck is going on? The only thing about offices is whatever you do, you then have a reputation for something. And that's what pisses me off. Like, I was thinking about this the other day, like, it constantly feels like you're in fucking school. Because, like, the managers and supervisors are there in case anything goes wrong, HR's there. But if you speak to anyone, you become a grass or a snitch or something like that. And it's like, but that's the fucking work procedure. I'm not at high school anymore. I'm not a child. I'm being paid to be here, and you're being a fucking dick, so I'm going to tell the person that's in charge to tell you you're a cunt.
Yeah, and it's the same. Well, it's the same in life in general, isn't it? Like if you think about people that are like drug dealing and stuff like that, that's how their entire like business is built on the notion of the same shit, and it do not say nothing.
Yeah.
When it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way.
But then it's the same thing as well. Like, why can't I go up to the guy at work that's annoying me and punch him in the face? Why does that risk me losing my job when I've just sorted what you won't sort out?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, unfortunately, that's how it ends up happening.
Yeah. Once you hit someone, you've solved it. That's it. Like, you've dealt with it. That's it. It's done. But to HR or to work in that, you're now a troublemaker. And it's like, no, I didn't go on a rampage of punching people in the face. I hit that one guy, and now I'm done. It's over with. Oh, no, you could do it again. Of course I could do it again. I'm not gonna, but of course you know what I mean? If he opens his fucking mouth again, I'll do it again, won't I? Yeah, so to come to a conclusion there, don't hit him.
Yeah, don't hit him, yeah.
Don't hit him. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know why we can't get out of this constant childish behaviour sort of thing. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that. When do you become an adult? When going to someone that's there, they're being paid for that job, but you can't go to them.
Thing is, what I think, I don't know whether it was always the same, but I think it's the world we're living in at the minute where everyone can be upset about everything. So, like, the HR departments and the managers and people like that, they're scared shitless of doing the wrong thing by anyone. So then it's easier to not deal with it and let the people blow up than it is to deal with it. And they'll have the same faces in there all the time complaining about the same people.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's not a perfect way of being, I don't think. I don't know what we could do to make it better.
How about people do the jobs they're fucking paid for? Same with like doctors. Doctors are too afraid now to give a diagnosis in case they get sued, so they pass you on to a specialist, or pass you on to someone else, or pass you on. You never get an answer for anything until you're fucking dying. I don't know.
Till it's too
Anyway,
late.
going on a fucking rant now about people not doing their job. God, this one isn't as because it's quite delicate, isn't it? Got kind of like, I'd love to. It just makes me feel like being like in the office with Jim and Dwight. Like just constantly pull pranks on him until he gets so fucking pissed off, but just pretend it weren't you. I like the stapler in Jello. That was one of my favourite ones. What do you think, Jane? What would you, apart from punching him?
I think the only option you've got is to speak to HR. I think if he persists, which he is clearly, he knows that's going to come at one point. Like, if you had a quiet word with the person, the guy himself, then I don't know whether he would actually react in a good way or a bad way to it. And if you go to HR, then it's forced upon him that he has to do something about it. And he'll probably ignore you for a little while. Huh?
It's recorded then as well, like you've made a statement that says...
Yeah, because you could go in and have that private word, and it starts off being it actually becomes confrontational. You have a fight, and then you've got physical, so then you have, both of you are out on your ear. So if you do HR, then everyone's covered then, and there's notes taken on the situation.
Yeah.
And if he is prejudiced, he's never going to admit it, so he's going to have to come up with some reason.
Which would be fucking flimsy, so you know full well what he's thinking then.
Yeah. So in the end, you will find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Take the higher ground, or whatever people think is petty. Go to your HR. That's what they're there for. Even if they don't fucking work. Useless bastards. Me and the guy at work think that people that go to HR are people that were bullied. And that because when you get to HR, you're like, that's it then. They come to you.
In control.
Like, if they've got a problem, you're in control. You need to... Because I haven't met a HR person that's nice. I'm sure they're out there. I'm not saying... But every person I've dealt with have just been miserable. Absolutely fucking miserable. Like, you shouldn't even be in there.
The girls in my work were okay. You don't see much of them because obviously they're off doing whatever they're doing, but they never seem to be in a bad... They're never like miserable or what you'd expect. When I used to deal with them before in other businesses, they were always like dragons of people, and you'd be like, "What the fuck? I do not want to go and speak to them."
No.
But in this place that I'm at the minute, they're okay.